On Osrc News at 7, Ondo State Government announces August 1st ultimatum for installation of functional CCTV in public places. Oyo Deputy Governor drags lawmakers to court over impeachment move. Authorities in Ogun State settle for negotiation with labor leaders as indefinite strike continues. And from the foreign scene, Ecuadorian leader cancels peace talks with indigenous farmers following attack on military convoy. Good evening and welcome. Thank you for joining us on the news at 7. I am Obi Chukwemeka Uti. The Ondo State government has given up to August 1st, 2022 to comply with the executive order making it mandatory for all public places to have functional closed-circuit camera television CCTV. The public places include religious worship centers, supermarkets, event centers, educational institutions, parks, among others. In a statement by the Special Advisor on Security Matters to the State Governor and Chairman, Amotekun Corps, Chief Adetunji Adeleye, the owners of the public places are to employ trained security personnel to man their outfits. Adeleye said anyone who fails to comply shall have his outfit closed indefinitely and be prosecuted. The Ondo State House of Assembly has admonished the Ministry of Environment to come up with a blueprint towards tackling the menace of waste management and other environmental issues facing the state. This was part of a resolution at the end of an interactive session with a team from the Ministry of Environment led by the Commissioner, Mr. Sunday Akinwalere. The list of candidates contesting the 2023 elections have sparked multiple court cases by aggrieved aspirants in many states. States where aggrieved aspirants are challenging this list include Ogun, Gombe, Plateau, Akwa Ibom, Benue, Kano, and Taraba. Some of the aspirants in separate interviews with newsmen faulted the list submitted by parties and published by the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. Political parties had on June 17 submitted to the Commission the list of their candidates contesting the 2023 election. And to Oyo State, where the Deputy Governor Rauf Olaniyan has dragged the State House of Assembly to court over the impeachment move against him by the lawmakers. The Deputy Governor was represented in court by his counsel, Chief Afolabi Fashanu, SAN, in the case which came up before Justice Ladiran Akintola at Oyo State High Court, Ring Road, Ibadan. The judge ordered that the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adebo Ogundoyin, and the Clerk of the House be put on notice before he adjourned the matter. The lawmakers had 2 weeks ago initiated impeachment move against Olaniyan. You're watching the news at 7. We'll now go on a break. When we return, we'll serve you more stories. Please stay with us.
Get there times 10. Get a Glow SIM today and enjoy 1,000 Naira sign-on bonus for voice and data. All new and existing Glow subscribers also get 10 times the value of their every recharge, plus up to double their data recharge as bonus. All Glow subscribers also get up to free 20,000 Naira bonus for voice and data.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the news at 7, coming to you live from Osrc Television. You can also watch us live on our website, www.osrc.ng, and follow us on Facebook, Osrc TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. Now to the rest of the bulletin. Chairman of the Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, says the organizations will continue to uphold ethics of media profession for the betterment of society. The chairman spoke in Akure at a business meeting with the independent presenters, program sponsors, and all agents and sub-agents in the media group. Kunle Ariyo reports.
The Ondo State Radiovision Corporation Osrc Media Group, comprising Orange 94.5 FM, Sunshine 96.5 FM, Alalaye, and Osrc TV, in about 5 years, have gone through various transformations so as to be at par with their counterparts around the world. The transformation is not only about human capital development and provision of modern equipment. The stations have equally witnessed heavy infrastructural uplift. The current quality programming and news content are a resultant effect of the transformation agenda. In a bid to get more productive results, the top management of the media group put together a consultative and business meeting with independent presenters and producers who are part of content providers. The director of operations Sunshine 96.5 FM Alalaye, Mrs. Bukola Ogunkwa, and the director of program on Osrc TV, Mrs. Iweti Alewi, said the consultative meeting was to foster a better relationship in order to develop and deliver better content, enhance professional standards, and create a stronger platform for future successes. Providers. The director of operations Sunshine 96.5 FM Alalaye, Mrs. Director of Program, the State Officer of National Broadcasting Commission (NBC), Mrs. Kehinde Olubomi, took them through the rudiments of broadcasting and the rules guiding the profession.
What is it that independent presenters does most that gives the station headache? Because sincerely, we won't come and meet you. NBC will not come and meet you. We will deal with the station. And when we talk to the station will tell you, this is what you should do. But unfortunately, the stations are supposed to edit your programs when you bring it, because for each program you have, there's a producer. But the producer refused to do their job. I'm sorry if I've been hammering on the stations.
Chairman of Osrc Media Group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo, said the organization will do everything possible to uphold professionalism.
We hope to strengthen the bond of professionalism between us and all our independent presenters and producers, so that we can work together in service of the people of the state. Nigeria is passing through different stages of challenges. The most important strength that we should all have together is the power of communication. It's the power of bonding together to ensure that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. This is extremely important for a media organization like ours. 2 radio stations, very formidable, and a 1 television station. It is important that we bond with them because we see them as part of the town ears for our operations. And they also see us as the key stakeholder in what they are doing.
He announced that the radio arm of the media group will soon be moved to Rita Obele, the headquarters for quality service delivery.
We have Osrc TV here, we have Alalaye FM here, we have Orange FM about 4 kilometers away, and we have our operations scattered all over Ondo State. But what the governor has done is to approve that Orange FM, which is about 4 kilometers away, should be relocated to the compounds of Osrc, so that we can have Orange FM or Alalaye 96.5 FM and television services all under one roof as a media village. It saves costs.
The meeting was interactive as the independent producers and presenters bore their minds on challenges on the job.
Ondo State government says it is committed to a gender policy towards achieving a gender-responsive planning, budgeting and implementation. The special advisor to Governor Akeredolu on gender, Mrs. Olamide Falana, unfolded the plans at the 3-day workshop on gender mainstreaming and development policy in Akure, the Ondo State capital. The interaction, which was organized by the state government with the support of a non-governmental organization, Action Aid Nigeria, witnessed the launch of Ondo Gender Capacity Building and Programming in Public Service to upskill skills of officers in the workforce. Zaid Aribisala has details.
It's the opening of a 3-day workshop on gender mainstreaming and policy development organized by the Office of the Special Advisor to Ondo State Governor on Gender with technical support from Action Aid Nigeria. One of the main objectives is the development of the state gender policy. The Special Advisor to the Governor on Gender, Mrs. Olamide Falano, said it has become imperative to achieve sustainable development in the state.
The very first time, the very first attempt, let me borrow your word, of coming up with a gender policy for Ondo State. There is a national gender policy, but this is the first time we are making efforts as a state to bring this down to our state and also ensure that we have come up with our own contextual gender policy. It's going to be a bankable policy, one that would ensure that we are able to give focus to gender activities and give focus to the development trajectory to the gender arm of government in the state.
The event also featured the maiden edition of Ondo Gender Capacity Building and Programming in Public Service, where 30 officers from the 18 local government areas, as well as ministries, departments and agencies, are to be trained as gender desk officers.
The participants will have done some quick analysis of the gender issues in the state, and then their skills in gender mainstreaming is also enhanced, and then their capacity to be able to promote gender equity and equality is also improved. So their skills in understanding why gender gaps exist, and then they're programming gender, and then making sure that all the programs of government is inclusive and gender sensitive.
Ondo State Head of Service, Mr. Adeniro Adeyemo, tasked the officers to exercise their duties diligently.
Know that they are now a change agent. They must perform their duties in their respective local government with a view to ensuring that gender equality is maintained, that who are due for one position are allowed to take it.
In attendance at the program were representatives of the First Lady, Mrs. Betty Ayanwa Akeredolu, Commissioner for Economic Planning and Budget, Emmanuel Igbasan, and Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Dr. Adebomi Oshadaun, among others.
All our policies, including human capital development, including our economic drive, will mainstream women. We have been mainstreaming women. I will continue to do so.
Arise. And the time is now.
Making both men and women equally relevant in the scheme of affairs in every society is the right step in the right direction to sustainable development.
One Nigeria to develop, all of us must work together to see that women are uplifted, women are empowered, women are taught, women are educated.
As UNICEF, we are available to provide any support, technical support that may be needed from us. I want to believe that the document that we come up with here will enhance the programming that we are having in this state.
The Office of the Special Advisor on Gender to Governor Akeredolu is hopeful of more collaborations to further deepen inclusion and gender mainstreaming in Ondo State. Sahid Aribisala, Osrc News.
In the meantime, Mrs. Betty Ayanwa Akeredolu has reaffirmed her commitment to the welfare and well-being of women and the girl child in Ondo State. She made the affirmation known when she was awarded by the National Parent-Teacher Association of Nigeria, Ondo State Chapter, for her role in safeguarding the future of the girl child. Omoriola Ugbeji reports that the governor's wife said the recognition will spur her to do more.
The Ondo State chapter of the National Parents Teachers Association of Nigeria organized this Role Model Award and investiture ceremony to celebrate and recognize those who have contributed immensely to the promotion of education in the state. Welcoming dignitaries to the event, State Chairman of the association, who is also the National Vice Chairman, Abimbola Omoloja, lauded Governor Oluwarotimi Akeredolu for providing an enabling environment for education to thrive. According to him, the recipients of the award are those who have made indelible mark in the education system of the state, especially in the areas of girl-child development, which the wife of the governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu, has invested in.
We want students to know that they should study, that great men are not made, but they worked for it.
It's a chain of victory.
They are not a chain of victory.
Responding on behalf of the awardees, the governor's wife reassured people of the state of her continued efforts at impacting the society.
It is proper, and it shows that you recognize what we have done and what we are doing and what we are about doing. So it's a continuous process. When you appreciate the role of individuals in the society, in making the society better, those individuals, they are bound to do more.
Betty Anyanwu Akeredolu reiterated her commitment to the cause of advancing and nurturing the girl child.
We must strategically build a new generation of women through our girls by raising them differently, and that's exactly what we're doing with the More Empowered Foundation. Another batch will resume by August. If you're not aware, be aware now that a revolution is starting in Ondo State.
Some attendees also eulogized the virtue of Mrs. Anyanwu Akeredolu, saying she deserved the honor done her.
She is the crusader of a Be More initiative, and she encouraged women in politics. And you can see she funded a cancer eradication program. A lot has been done by her.
Talk of the children, care for them. Talk of those who are not having husband again. You know, she do care for them. All this program I've been hearing of it. Fortunately enough, I have somebody beside me that I enjoy from this program.
Others honored at the events include the Olowo of Owo, Oba Ajibade Ogunwoye, as the Royal Grand Patron, Olowo of Igbaraoke, Oba Adefarakanmi Agbede, Royal Patron and Gold Card member, Secretary to the State Government, Oladuni Odu, as Educational Planning and Administration, and Afe Olowokere as Educational Philanthropy. Omoriola Hungbiji, Osrc News.
Chairman of the Federal Local Government Area in Ondo State, Mr. Alex Oladimeji, has commissioned 4 laptop shops in Ikpogun and renovated the Youth Event Center in Ijare in the council area. Bisola Aluko reports that the event drew traditional rulers in the community, residents and political stakeholders. The report is presented from our studio. The construction of the 4 laptop shops at Ikpogun was to boost economic well-being of the residents, which informed the people's excitement when the local government authority came to commission the project. In his speech, Chairman of Ifedore, Alex Oladimeji, said his administration is out to ensure the people's welfare. He itemized the projects that have been done by the local government. He urged residents to maintain and make judicious use of the project.
Àwọn èèyàn wọn ní túnṣe wọ́n filẹ̀ títí tó máa tún fi bàjẹ́ ẹ̀yin lẹ máa lò ní máa wá síbí ní gbogbo ìgbà.
The Adakpogun of Ikpogun, Oba Raphael Oje, who applauded the chairman for the gesture, urged the residents to maintain the property as it would go a long way in boosting trade and commerce in the community.
This shopping complex will improve the well-being of our women because they'll be trading here, and people, the topography of this place is very good for trading. So we know it will bring some developments in the town.
Paul Lock Shop was open today with our Almighty God. It's one of our achievements in this community.
The team moved to Ijare for the commissioning of the Youth Event Center, which was renovated after years of abandonment.
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit.
The chairman, who appreciated the people for their support, urged them to maintain the edifice.
We did the commissioning of the lockup in Ipogun. We did the commissioning of this hall here, and before this hall, if you see it, is habitated by sheep, goat, and others, and we are able to fix this car to a standard for the use of the vice chairman.
The engineer in charge of the renovation, Kayode Oguntimehin, said it is imperative to reconstruct the hall for the use of the community.
Yeah, for people are coming here to defecate inside, so everywhere overgrown by bush, smelly. So the chairman then said we should make it one of our priority projects. Then, thank God, the project was approved from Akure, and the result is what we are seeing today.
The regent of Ijare, Joseph Omoshebi, alongside his traditional chiefs, were thankful for the project.
That is very, very bad to use. We already missed that place at Ijare here, because a lot of programs that has been, so to be there, that is not, we couldn't able to do it over there. So we really thank God. We appreciate it.
Residents were implored to be security conscious in this present time and get their PVC ahead of the 2023 general elections. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, has accused some tertiary institutions of learning in the country of being in the habit of opting for crooked options by failing to disclose admission offers granted to candidates. According to reports, JAMB had in 2021 said it uncovered no fewer than 706,189 undisclosed admission offers granted to candidates by tertiary institutions. According to the board, the admission offers granted were done outside the central admission processing system. The House of Representatives has resolved to invite the Head of Service of the Federation, Accountant General of the Federation, Director General of the National Pension Commission, and the Executive Secretary of the Pension Transitional Arrangement Directorate to appear before its committees on pension and public service matters. The officials are to provide explanations for the non-payment of pensions and gratuities to retired federal civil servants for 9 months. The House also mandated its committees on pension, public service matters, and legislative compliance to ensure compliance with this resolution and report back within 4 weeks for further legislative action. The immediate past Chief Justice of Nigeria, Tanko Mohammed, is expected to get a 2.5 billion naira severance package from the federal government. Mohammed's resignation on health grounds was announced on Monday, less than a week after the 14 Supreme Court justices accused him of financial misappropriation and maladministration following the development. President Muhammadu Buhari on Monday swore in Justice Olukayode Ariwola, the next most senior justice as the acting CJN, as part of the package for the retired Chief Justice put together by the National Judicial Council. A mansion will be built for him in Abuja or any city of his choice with a lump sum for furnishing. Report just reaching us says the Senate has confirmed Mr. Adewale Adegoroye from Ondo State among other nominees as minister designates to replace those who resigned from the federal cabinet to pursue political ambitions. Other nominees confirmed by the Senate are Henry Ikechukwu from Abia State, Omana Okon Omana from Akwa Ibom State, and Egwa Makama Joseph Nkama from Ebonyi State. The remaining minister designates are Goodluck Nana Opia from Imo State, Omar Ibrahim El Yakub from Kano State and Odum Odi from Rivers State. Hundreds of intending pilgrims protested in Kano on Tuesday against the non-allocation of Hajj seats despite having completed their payments. The banking institution that handled their payment through a savings scheme with a commercial bank, as well as the Kano State Pilgrims Board office, were both stormed by the demonstrators. The 284 affected individuals expressed dismay over learning that despite their purchase, no seat had been secured for them, noting that some of them had begun their savings plan as early as 2019. It was gathered that the names of the aggrieved intending pilgrims had been sent to the State Pilgrims Board and documented, but there was no allocation for them because of the limited number of the Hajj seats allocated to states this year. In another development, 131 Nigerians stranded in Libya were on Tuesday received by officials of the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Ikeja, Lagos State. The coordinator, Lagos Territorial Office, NEMA, Ibrahim Fanriloye, confirmed the development in a statement. He said the returnees included 72 adult females, 6 girls, 4 female infants, 31 men, 11 boys, and 7 infant females. Moving on to the foreign scene, the president of Ecuador has withdrawn from negotiations to end a nationwide strike by indigenous farmers after an overnight attack against a military convoy escorting fuel from the oil-rich Amazonia region that left 1 soldier dead and 12 injured. The strike has paralyzed the country and left at least 7 dead. The Legislative Assembly voted against the motion to remove President Guillermo Lasso from office. Doyin Ayebuse has details.
Indigenous strikers gathered outside of Cuarto's Basilica, reacting angrily to an ultimatum issued by Ecuadorian President Guillermo Lasso.
We will radicalize our strike. We won't leave Quito without results. Long live the struggle.
Into the 3rd weeks of crippling nationwide strike led by the Confederation of Indigenous Peoples, it appeared that negotiations with the government inside the Basilica were making headway. But overnight attack against a military convoy escorting fuel from the oil-rich Amazonian region left 1 soldier dead and 12 injured. The government blames the Confederation leader Leonidas Issa, who in turn suggests it was the army that attacked an indigenous community first. President Lasso rushed to end the talk.
We will not sit down again at the negotiating table with Leonidas Issa, who only defends his own political interests and not those of his union members. Indigenous brothers, you deserve better than this opportunistic leader who has deceived you and the entire country.
The ultimatum is seen by many indigenous communities as a declaration of war.
We are going to resist until the last consequences. We won't surrender. If we have to die, it will be standing up, not on our knees.
While the National Assembly prepared to vote on a non-confidence vote against Lasso, the leader of the legislature appealed to the president to return to the negotiation table. President Lasso has refused to cave into demands to lower fuel prices and repeal a decree that expands mining in indigenous regions.
Sooner or later, the government will have to understand that the situation is unsustainable and give in. The situation of ungovernability here is dramatic.
But Lasso is remaining firm, knowing full well that in the last 26 years, 3 Ecuadorian presidents have been forced out with the help of a combative indigenous movement. Oladoyin Ayegbusi, Osrc News.
To end the news tonight, here again are the major stories. Ondo State government has announced August 1st as deadline for installation of functional CCTV cameras in public places to boost security of lives and property. We also told you that Oyo State Deputy Governor Rauf Olaniyan has dragged lawmakers to court over the impeachment move against him by the State House of Assembly. Authorities in Ogun State have settled for roundtable talks with labor leaders as the indefinite strike embarked upon by workers continue. And from the foreign scene, we told you that Ecuadorian leader has cancelled ongoing peace parley with indigenous farmers currently on industrial action over an overnight attack on military convoy. That's the news tonight. Thank you so much for being a part of it. Good evening.